kell on juba 4 minutit 11 läbi. Ma usun, et on õige aeg alustada pihta meie tänase webinariga, kus me siis räägime täpsemalt Huawei inverteritest ja nende seadistamistest. Ja meie tänane esineja on siis Aleksander Photomate'ist. Okay, now we switch to English and Alexander, now is your turn. You can share your screen and start presentation.
Hello, everyone.
Good
morning. Do you hear me well?
Yes.
Okay, great. So my name is Alexander Ivashchenko. I'm from Photomate, Ukraine tech support team. So we also support Baltics region, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, and many other countries. So today we will talk about how to set up Estonian grid code settings, how to set up automatic alert settings, how to set up the output power limitation, and how to set up like dynamic power limitation with smart meter, like in several scenarios with dongle and with smart logger and so on. And also we will talk about typical problems with commissioning and monitoring. So I think let's start from the easiest part. So we have, I want to apologize, we recently found a problem that we cannot share my screen to Microsoft Teams because when we connect the app to the inverter Wi-Fi network have no internet, so we cannot connect together to Microsoft Teams and to inverter. We need to choose something of it. So, but we will try to fix this issue and show you later on how to set everything from the app when you connect it directly to inverter. So I think let's start from the easiest part is how to set up the automatic alert sending. Okay, I will share my screen. Okay, sorry for technical problem. I think there is some problems with Fusion Solar at the moment. So let me show you in this case how to set up a dynamic power limitation with smart meter and smart logger because it's now available. In the while I will show you a short, I will show you what we have here. 1 second. Okay, now you will see we here have one inverter connected with the meter and with the logger. So in the while I will connect together inverter with the logger, and we will see on web interface how it works. So now I did the connection of smart logger with smart meter and with inverter. So let's add all these devices and then connect it back. So I would like to add the SUN 2000 inverter. It is connected to COM1 and it have COM address 10. So it's not default address, I changed it, but you need to know that the default address is 1. So we add the device. Okay. One more time. Okay, guys. Please, sorry for the technical problems. Let's continue with our previous plan to show the remote notification. I don't know what's going on with this installation, but wait a second. Okay, so how to set up the remote notification? You need to log in into Fusion Solar, then go to System, and here is business configuration and alarm configuration. You choose this menu, and then in push settings, you need to create a rule. You press add button, then type here name of the rule, then choose from here the list of PV plants. For example, these two PV plants. You can choose what kind of alarm you want to receive. You choose the email language, English. Better to choose. You can choose exact user that you want to send this alarm just from the user list, or you can just type here some email address here, and after you set here the address, you can have you will save it, and you need to choose email push or the app push, and you can choose it both as well, but in this case you need to choose exact user and press save. And after you will save this, you will have this rule, and if some alarm appears in this PV plant, in our case it is PV plant like Photomate test that we create for this webinar, and one Estonian PV plant that agreed to participate in this training. So basically later on you can modify this rule or delete. And as soon you will create this rule, you will get all emails about this kind of alarm, like critical, major, minor, and warning, and so on. So basically, this is it. If you have some question, you can text or ask me in the chat.
What kind of alarms we can choose? What you recommend to choose?
It's up to you. I always recommend to choose critical and major alarm. Is definitely you need. If you lose the grid or something happened with inverter, with the module, you will always get this critical or major alarms. Also, the minor is usually like when you lose the communication with inverter. It can be only for 5 minutes, for example, and you don't need to know about it. Okay, you lose the communication for 5 minutes. Honestly speaking, nobody cares about 5 minutes. But if you want to get this notification, you can also choose the minor settings. And warning is like when you have some reverse current, some problem with the string, so you can also choose it. So definitely critical, major, and warning I suggest you to use, and minor is up to you, but you can choose it all of it. And of course later on you can modify this rule, and you can have several rules. If for example you're a big APC company, you have many installers and so on, you can choose which installer should get notification about what PV plant. So you can create a different kind of rules and different list of installers that have to create this, have to receive these notification emails. So it's depend on your company structure. And also it can be up push from your smartphone. This also could be quite useful for the installers. So if you have some questions about it, or we can move forward. Okay, so I think we can close this question and I will delete these rules. Okay, let's go back. So let's check how to set Estonian grid code. So I will show you how to do it from our inverter in the office. Later on, I will try to show my screen of my phone to you in order to be able to show when I'm directly connected to inverter. But now let's check only from the Fusion Solar. So you need to open the PV plant overview. So I don't remember if I show. So you click on the needed PV plant, like here. Then this menu is open in overview page. You can see that here is inverter, one and meter. Meter is now disconnected, you need to go to devices and put then a checkbox in front of inverter here and press set parameters. So you need to choose grid parameters. And here is, so the Estonian grid code, as far as I know, is close to 549 low voltage grid code. So it's not a default value. Default value is usually the German one, 4105. This one is usually the default one, but I already choose the closest to Estonian settings. This one, 5549 low voltage. And now we need to open your local grid requirements. I think Kalev will share it with you. And do you see my? Sorry, no, you don't see. 1 second. I will share another screen. Okay, now you should see. This one is the requirement that Kalev sent me so far, and we will go step by step how to set these values. So the main differences is in so the first one is let's do like this. Sorry, I lost the communication. I will share it back. Okay. Okay, I think it will be too small for you, so I will open on the full screen. Okay. So here is parameters of Estonian grid. So first of all, what you need to set is the lower frequency threshold. So it should be like 47.4 Hertz. You go to protection parameters, then you choose level 1 under frequency protection threshold. So standard is 47.5. You change to 4, and the time value is, as far as I remember, 100 millisecond. You choose 100 and press set. Okay, so it reminds you that also you need to change that level 1 should be faster than level 2. You can put here like 50. and then the settings, and it's confirmed. The next step is, according to these values, is to set upper frequency. So it was under frequency before, and now it should be over frequency. It should be, according to your standard, is 51.6 and also 100 milliseconds. You need to go to over frequency. Here is standard value 51.5. You need to change to 6. And again, it should be 100 milliseconds. So now that setting is succeed. The next one is to change the statism is should be 5%. So we cannot modify the statism value itself, but we can modify. You need to go to power adjustment, and here is over frequency derating. So basically, what does it mean? It means that if the frequency in the grid will grow up fastly, then your inverter should reduce the active power output in order to prevent, so not only your inverters, but all inverters in the Estonian network grid, I mean, should reduce the active power. And these values allows you to show, allows you to protect the grid from the heavy, like, let me say, the disaster when you will disconnect all the PV plants and all other heat power plants and so on. So you need to set it according to your standard is 50.2 and 5%. And honestly speaking, it is a standard LFSMO parameters for this grid code. So basically, you don't need to change these parameters. You should leave it like this one, 50.2, and with cutoff of over frequency derating of 48%, you will get the 5% of statism. I will send also you this formula, is how to calculate these values. So basically, this is a statism formula, and if you will change this equation and calculate what value of cutoff power you should put with 5%, for example, you see, if I will change to 5%, it will show me 48% here. And this is the standard parameters for 50 for this grid code. So basically, don't change these parameters if you choose grid code 5549. So the next requirement is the limit of frequency. So it's a range of frequency when inverter will connect to the grid. So every morning, inverter checks the grid parameters, and before startup, it checks if it's parameters of the grid within these values. This settings is located on grid parameters page. And you scroll down, and here is frequency upper limit and frequency lower limit. The frequency upper limit, according to you, should be 50.1, and lower limit is 49.0. So you put here 50.1 and 49.0, basically is a standard value. And also the grid recovery time, according to Estonian settings, it should be 60 seconds. And it's also default value for this grid code. So you just, if you need to modify, you modify, and then press set and leave it like this. It's 49.50 and should be 49.0 according to Estonian grid code settings. So we save this value, and now inverter every morning will check the frequency settings if it will be within these limits, like between 49 and 50.1, and after 60 seconds, it will connect to the grid and start to produce energy. So let's check the next requirements. Is voltage. So is the lowest and highest voltage range. Let's see where it is. So these parameters is in protection parameters. We need to choose the protection parameters and find the level 1 over voltage. The standard value is 264.5, and almost 10 minutes. You need to choose according to your standard is the upper voltage is the level 1 is 255.3 and 3 seconds. So you put here 255.3 and 3000 milliseconds. The second level 2 is 264.5 and 100 milliseconds. 64.5. 0.5 and 100 milliseconds. The lower voltage is level 1 lower voltage is 195.5 and 1.5 seconds. Here. And half second. So after that you press set. Oops, sorry, this one it should be lower. So you press set and have all these settings in batch like set to inverter, and now we can double check it. So over voltage protection is 255.3, 3 seconds. The level 2 is 264.5 and 0.1 second. And under voltage level 1 also is changed according to grid code parameters. The next one is reactive power control method in settings. So basically, you need the like constant power factor 1, and according to standard values of this grid code, it always 1. I will show you those. So you see the reactive power compensation is 1. So your inverter will not produce any reactive or power or produce or consume reactive power by standard. So you just don't need to modify these parameters. The next one is like inverter must be able to operate and remain in parallel with electricity network with frequencies and times. So when frequency within this range, so inverter should be connected to the grid. Basically, these parameters cannot be changed with Huawei inverters. We cannot check this requirement with our labs, and we only can issue the statement and certificate that Huawei inverter can work in such condition. So if you need, we will provide all this certificate. But these parameters cannot be changed. Like it is in firmware of inverter, but we cannot modify these parameters. So if your grid operator will ask the confirmation, we can provide the statements and certificates that our inverter can work in such condition. So next one is inverter must be able to withstand of a rate of change of frequency up to 2.5 Hertz per second. Basically, also this is the same story. We have this we have this certificate, the statement that our inverter can work with 2.5 Hertz per second. And I think we already provide to some of you this statement, to some of Estonian customers. I don't know if you are listening now or not, but I already contact with Estonian installers that ask for this document. The next one is again about statism, and I already explained how to set it. And basically, you don't need to change something because this is a standard value for 5549 grid code. This 5% value. If you need some another requirements, also I will provide this. I will provide this file how to calculate the another value of statism if someone requires. Basically that's all. The next one is if frequency decrease below, so after frequency rise, this all over frequency the rating starts, so inverter reduce power, and it should quit this power and start to gain the power after it's reached 49 Hertz. Unfortunately, we cannot modify these parameters. It's in the inverter firmware, and we can only provide the statement to grid operator that our inverter can work in such condition, but modify these parameters we cannot. So this is all about Estonian grid settings. And if you need, I can show you how to do it when you connect it directly to the inverter. A bit later on, we will try to connect my phone to inverter and show you all the settings from the inverter, how it looks like from the app. But it can be done only locally when you are close to inverter. When you connect it to inverter Wi-Fi network, you can modify it from there. Okay, let's show the next thing, how to set up the communication. How to set up the export limitation. One question was how to set up output power limitation. So if you don't have a power meter, for example, you just have one inverter connected to the grid and that's all, sometimes you need to modify inverter output. Like inverter is rated up to, I don't know, 30 kilowatt, but you cannot have 30. You can, for example, circuit breaker can pass only like 25 kilowatts. So what you need to do? Again, you need to go to plant view, then choose devices, then choose the inverter, choose set parameters, and you need to go to power adjustment. And here is the second one is like fixed active power derating. By default, here is maximum values that inverter produce. In our case is 10 KTL M0. It can produce up to 11 kilowatt. So you put here, type here in values like what you need, for example, 10 kilowatt, and then press set. So now you set an inverter at any condition will produce not more than 10 kilowatt. Also, you can modify these parameters here, but in percentage. So if you will put here, for example, 90%, you will inverter will not produce more than 9.9 kilowatts. So it's calculated from the maximum output. So the maximum output is 11. So that 90% will be 9.9. So you put it here, and inverter will not produce more than this value. This is about how to set the fixed value. The next one is how to set dynamic. So when you have this scenario when you need to set the dynamic limitation. Let me connect the power meter to inverter, and I will show you, because now you can see that power meter is not online, but I will connect and we'll resume back. 1 second. If you have some question in the while, I can reply you.
Ja kui kellelgi on vahepeal küsimusi tulnud, siis te võite kätt tõsta ja ka küsida või ka siis chati kirjutada. Ja kui me ei jõua seda nüüd selle webinari ajal vastata, siis vastame hiljem teile küsimustele.
Okay, it will, now I see that dongle, sorry, the meter is connected, but the Fusion Solar will update it approximately in 5 minutes. It will become green in 5 minutes and we will check it. Okay, now this here is empty values, but so how to set up the export limitation? So for example, you have this scenario when you have the inverter, then there is some load in the middle and a meter connected in grid connection point. So your meter can send, so your inverter can receive data from the meter directly, like it is connected now, or through the logger. So we will show you the both variants. So when it's connected to the inverter directly and to the logger. So now we connect meter directly to the 10 kTL inverter, and also to inverter connected the smart dongle. You need to connect here. Okay, it's still online, but it will come back. Okay, you need to go to devices and choose the smart dongle, the communication device. To add checkbox here and press setting parameters. Now we need to choose active power control, and here is in menu the standard one is no output, so nothing. So it means that inverter is not controlling the export to the grid, so it have no like closed loop controller. You need to choose here several variants, like you have 0 export limitation. So it means that you don't have any, you don't need to inject any energy into the grid. So you need to choose export limitation. Or if you have some limited power to the grid, for example, you have 50 kilowatt inverter, but cannot inject into the grid more than 20 kilowatts. So, but you have some load there, and you cannot just set 20 kilowatt strictly on inverter side, because sometimes load will consume more, and you will not able to inject 20 kilowatt to the grid. So we need to choose, in this case, limited power grid. So let's start from 0 export. You just choose 0 export here. You choose closed loop controller. In case you have only one inverter and one power meter connected to it, you leave it like this. You leave it inverter here. And the next one, if you have more inverters, like one inverter with power meter and then connected like 3, 4, or 5 slave inverter to the master inverter. In this case, you need to choose closed loop controller, not inverter, but as dongle or smart logger. But in our case, it's only inverter. The next one is limitation mode. It means how inverter will limit the power depending on the total power, or the total power of all 3 phases, or single power of each phase. So what does it mean? So sometimes when your load is not balanced, for example, one phase consume like 5 kilowatt, another phase consume 4 kilowatt, and one phase consume 10 kilowatts. So if you will sum it, it will like be, how many I said, like it will be 19 kilowatt. So if inverter will produce 19 kilowatt, it will do it symmetrically. So it will produce approximately 6.3 kilowatt at each phase, and you will get the following like picture. So in one phase you will you will produce the energy like 1.3, another 2.3 to the grid, but through last phase you will consume like almost 4 kilowatt. So if it's okay for you, if it's okay for your grid operator, then leave it like this. But if you are not allowed to inject any energy to the grid, you need to choose single phase power. In this case, inverter will choose the smallest phase and produce not more energy than this the smallest phase. For example, in my example that I say to you, it will produce not more than 4 kilowatt. Per 4 kilowatt per phase, so it means it totally will be 12 kilowatt. So you can understand the difference. If you will choose total, you will, in my example, when you consume 5, 4, and 9, 10 kilowatt, you will produce 19. Inverter will produce 19 kilowatt, and in case you have single phase, your inverter will produce only 12 kilowatt. So it will produce less, but any energy will be injected into the grid, so through any phase. Hope it's clear. So I think in most European network, you need to choose single phase power because grid operator will not allow you to have this asymmetrical generation. Through one phase you will generate, through other one you consume, so not everyone will happy with it. But you need to confirm it with your local grid operator. The next one is parameter is power adjustment period and maximum protection time. This one is depending on this one depends on meter type. So we have here Chint. It's the Chint smart meter produced specially for Huawei, and you need to leave it parameter like this. So half second here and 5 seconds in maximum protection time. So don't change this parameter for a Chint power meter. The next one is plant capacity. This is total output that you can inject into the grid. So by default it's 0 because this one is 0 export limitation. And if you will put here 0, so inverter will not produce any, let the installation to generate any energy to the grid. So if you will choose here limited grid power, so you can put here here will be one more max feed, one more row. It calls the max grid feed-in power. So you can put here some other value. For example, as I told you, if you have 50 kilowatt inverter and you can inject only 20 kilowatt into the grid, you put here 20, and inverter will see how many energy is consumed on site, how many energy can be generated. So, and totally on the grid connection point, you will not produce more than set here. Hope it's clear. Okay, let's check if, yeah, you see the power sensor is connected back. Yeah, we can check this value. Yeah, it's only one phase connected and powered on. Okay. Basically, the same story is about reactive power control. So if you choose reactive power control, by default here is no output, but you can choose like power factor closed loop control set here, and you put here the target power factor. So it means what power factor you want to be here at grid connection point here. because you know that inverter is producing always 1, so with power factor on 1, so it will not produce or consume reactive power, but your load can consume or can produce reactive power, usually consume, if we are talking about some engines and so on. So, and if you are paying for reactive power, you can set this closed loop control, and meter will measure the power factor here and calculate how many reactive power this inverter need to produce in order to be here active power factor 1, so cosinus phi 1. In this case, inverter will always dynamically change this power factor, and you can reduce the bill for reactive power in case you are paying for it. Basically, that's it. If you have some question, you can ask me. Okay. Let's check how we can set the on the Smart Logger web interface. 1 second, I will connect the Smart Logger to
no nii, vahepeal läheb natuke aega seadmete ümberühendamiseks. Meil on nagu tõeline töötuba, et vahepeal käib ringi ühendamine. Et see eelmine stsenaarium on üks üsna palju kasutatavaid, et kui me soovime, et inverter toodaks meie võrku rohkem, selle oma tarbimise osa rohkem siis, kui meil võrku on lubatud. Seda on mõistlik kasutada, kui meil on siis päevasel ajal on siis oma tarbimine meie võrgus. Nii, ma loodan, et Aleksander jõuab ka kohe tagasi oma ümberühendamistega.
Okay, so now you see.
Oh, yes.
So in the while the inverter is restarting, so I will try to. I already add the power meter. I don't know if it's needed to show how to log in into the Smart Logger or not.
Yeah, yeah, there is free guest and advanced and special.
Yeah. No, basically this one is Smart Logger 3000. Okay, I will show you fast.
Yeah, you can show.
Yeah. So basically this is Smart Logger 3000. This is the latest version. I think you will see only now you're able to buy only this model. Maybe you will face with other, but there is no big difference, honestly. So you need to go, you need to connect your laptop to Smart Logger. Now the Smart Logger is connected to router in our office to the one port. And I know that IP address of the Smart Logger is this one. So in your case, it will be the default address is 010. So you need to use this address to enter if you need. But now is this one. So you need to log in. So you will get this not secured notification. So just ignore it and say that, okay, I know what I'm doing, just connect to this device. And this is the starting page. You need to choose the language. In your case, it's better to choose English and user type. The previous version of Smart Logger, they have 3 different types of users. So it will be like the first one is common, advanced, and special. we are interested in a special, because special allows to adjust this active power regulation. So the Smart Logger 3000 and the later version, they have only admin version and without these 3 different users. So it's much more easy for you to use Smart Logger 3000. The password is the standard password is change me. It is should be like this one. Change me, and this is a default password of Smart Logger. But after first login, you need to change it, and I already changed, so it a little bit another one. But nevertheless, so we connect and press login. Basically, we have a special video how to log into Smart Logger. So in case you face this problem, we can send, you can go to our YouTube channel and there is a video how to connect to Smart Logger web interface. So now you are in, and we need to go to maintenance and to connect devices. So here is maintenance and connect device. Here is the add device button. You need to choose what exact device you need. Here is long list like Sun 2000, this is inverter, Smart Logger, EMI, this is Meteo Station, and power meter. So I choose the COM2, and power meter by default have address 11. So it's connected to COM2 address 11. So I already add, so I will not add it again. So next one, we need to connect the inverter. So Sun 2000, it's now connected to COM3 and address it have 10. And again, I think it's not, don't want to connect, and I don't know why. Okay. One more second, I will change the. Okay, let's try one more time. Okay, still not able. Maybe I have some problem with cable. Okay, last try to change the cable. Okay, so I think it's still not able to connect. Nevertheless, we can show it without. So to set the, here is a manual how to do this export limitation with Smart Logger 3000. I will show you like small video tutorial. So you need to go to settings, and here is power adjustment section here. You choose export limitation, and it will work like a wizard how to set up and so on. And we already connect the power meter, and let's assume that we connect the inverter as well. So you will just press like next, and it will finally will route you to active power control. So here, by default, it is no limit here. It's the same as in Fusion Solar, but you need to choose export limitation. Here is, let's go step by step. The first one is start control. So you can switch it on or off. Okay, press off. Yes, that we need to start this control. The next one is power meter direction. Then normally, when you connect the current transformer correctly, so when your installation consume energy, the active power should be with plus, like positive, like here. We go to monitor and see what is going on. So you see that phase B active power is about 20 watts. So basically this is inverter is powered on and so on. I can disconnect, I can try to connect the laptop charger, and you will see that it should grow up a little bit. Yeah, now you see it's become like 90 watts almost, because I connect the charger of laptop. So it is positive. That means that our current transformer connected correctly, and the energy flow is correctly done correctly. But sometimes the installers, they connect the current transformer in the other direction, and you can see here is negative values. More often you need to go on site and change this polarity, but in case you cannot do it or you don't have time, you can always do it by software. So you need just to choose here not positive but reverse in this case. But always, please, always, this is very common mistake. You need to check the correspondence between current circuits and voltage circuits, because very often installers connect, for example, phase A voltage circuits, but put the current transformer from phase B to this circuit. And in this case, you see positive values of the energy flow and energy consumed, but it's completely wrong value, so it's not corresponded with reality. So in this case, the power control will not work. So always control this. So by default, here is positive, and you need to leave it like this if you connect the current transformers correctly. In case if installer failed and you don't want to change it, you can always change to reverse. And later on, I will show you how to check this function, if it works correctly or not, with this power direction flow. The next one is limitation mode. I already explained. So this is total or single phase. You need to choose it here, total or single phase. The next one is maximum grid feeding power. If you want zero feeding power, just leave it here 0. If you have some limited value, for example, 20 kilowatt, you can put here 20 kilowatt. This is it. The next two values is lower adjustment period and maximum protection times. It's recommended by depending on here is a small table in manual. Here is depending on the power meter, and we have this Chint DTSU666IH, and remain it like this 0.5 and 3 seconds. And power raising threshold is it should be always higher than maximum grid feeding power. So for example, if you have here 0, you can put here like almost 0. Let's do it like 100 watt. And if you have maximum feeding power, for example, I don't know, 20 kilowatt, so you need to also put here like more, at least 20.1, for example. In this case, the system will work correctly. The next one is extended parameters. Honestly speaking, I never saw someone using it, but it works like this. So if, for example, smart logger lose the communication with power meter and inverter produce the maximum energy, so smart logger and inverter doesn't know if what the energy goes to the grid and what goes to the load. So, and you can exceed this value, this maximum grid feeding power. In this case, if you will enable this function, the inverter, the smart logger will send command to inverter to switch off. So if it's lose communication with power meter, it will switch off the inverter, because you can produce much more energy to the grid than needed. So you also need to ask ask your grid operator how to act in this case if you lose communication with the meter. By default, it's disabled. Moreover, if smart logger sends command to inverter to switch off, but inverter also lose communication with smart logger for some reason, I don't know why, and maybe inverter still producing maximum energy, and smart logger cannot prevent this export. You can connect digital output of smart logger to the circuit breaker, and in this case the smart logger will send a signal to disconnect circuit breaker of inverter. Again, I never saw that someone use it, but this function is available and we even checked it. So if inverter is producing too much energy and does not respond on smart logger command to reduce the energy production or to switch off, the smart logger can disconnect the switch AC circuit breaker of inverter. In this case, it will be like totally disconnected from the grid. So you can also set it up. So basically, that's it. Let's last time try to connect the inverter. Okay, don't want to work. Okay, basically that's all. We cannot do it like today. I don't know. Like I don't want to spend your time in order to understand what is wrong. Like 1 hour ago it was working fine. Now no, I don't know why. When your smart logger or your installation connected to the grid, you can still always change these parameters from the Fusion Solar. You just need to go to some PV plant and like this one, for example, and choose devices. But here will be not a smart dongle, but smart logger. You just need to mark checkbox here and modify the parameters. And everything can be modified from here. So why it's important? You can always, for example, you finish some installation, then go back to the office or home, and after you need to change some parameters, for example, to reduce the power output or to change the polarity, I mean to reverse, to make this reverse of the meter current transformers. You can always do it from here, from this menu. But in this case, the power meter current transformer reverse should be made from here. Here, you see. So you choose the power meter. So in smart logger, it done. I show you in standard settings of export control, but in Fusion Solar, you need to choose meter and press modify. And after you will switch the direction, so it sent command from reverse to from positive to reverse direction. So for your information, it should be done from here. Basically that's all. So the next question is how to check if export limitation works correctly. So the easiest way is to connect here. So when your installation is running, you will get here like grid dispatch. It means what command is sent to the to inverter. So now we don't have any inverter connected, so we have 0% here. If it will be a real installation, you will get here not 0, but I think I can show you one installation. Okay. Yeah, here I will show you one real installation. The same logger, yeah. You see here is grid dispatch command is 100%. So because I'm quite sure that meter is producing, you see that here is positive. So this object now is consuming 29 kilowatt, and inverter is producing less. So inverter is producing only 25 kilowatt. Yeah, and that means that 25 produced by inverter and 30 more is consumed from the grid. So that's why the grid dispatch is 100%. So at the moment, inverter should not be limited at all because it produces less energy than consumed by this installation. But for example, in weekend, it can be changed. For example, inverter still can produce 25 kilowatt, but this installation don't need so many energy at weekend because there is nobody and only 10 kilowatt for example installation. In this case, smart logger will send here command like 40%, and inverter will reduce energy to 40%. So when you connect the newest installation, how to check if it's worked correctly? So my first suggestion is just to go to settings, then you go to power adjustment, active power control, and you for a short period you change from positive to reverse. In this case, the smart logger will think that the energy produced not consumed by this installation, but injected into the grid, and immediately will send command to reduce the power. I will shortly show you how it works. So just you change to reverse, you press submit, and you see the immediately command is 0, and inverter is already off. You see, inverter is already off. It produces 0 volts, and meter is start to consume in the 40 kilowatt. So now we go back and change from reverse to positive. It will immediately send command to produce more energy, like 75 and 100%. So it means that now inverter is working on maximum power. Yeah, it's already produced 25 kilowatt, and energy that goes through meter reduced to 20, 90, and lower, and so on. So basically, it's trying to keep always the zero. So it will reduce up to 0 if it's possible, of course. But at the moment, this installation consumes more energy than inverter able to produce. That's why you don't see any limitation. So this one is basically the fast way how to check if limitation work correctly. Just to change this polarity for a short time, and if inverter immediately reduce the power, you need then it's work correctly. So hope that is clear. So again, the most important troubleshooting advices. So first of all, check the wiring. So if current transformer installed in correct direction, in correct way, so if it's installed correctly, the energy consumed by installation should be positive. So it will be negative only if you put here not 0, but for example 10 or 20. In this case, you will inject into the grid, and it will be with minus this energy. And how to check it? It's just to short time to reverse the polarity from positive to reverse, and you will see immediately the result as I showed you recently. So basically, that's all. If you have some question about active power control, let me know.
Can you show through Fusion where is these settings? What happened when inverter? What inverter should do when we lose connection between a smart meter and the inverter?
Okay.
You showed through logger, but show all, where it is through Fusion.
Okay. Yeah, by the way, now I see that here is no menu about it. That is very strange in my opinion, because from the app is definitely there is like checkbox. So if like to disconnect inverter in case it lose communication with the meter, there is a checkbox in app when you connect directly to inverter. Hold on, I will ask my colleague to connect if possible to this presentation, and we will show from his screen how to connect. 1 second.
Okay.
So 1 second, my colleague will try to join this conference, and from his smartphone we will send the data to okay, in the while we can talk about you hear me, Khalif?
Yes.
Okay, in the while we can talk about typical problems with commissioning and monitoring. I don't know what exact advice to tell you, because there is many things can happen. I can only suggest you to what to do in case inverter doesn't work properly as you expected from it. So in case your inverter doesn't start, it's very common problem. So first of all that you need to do is to open the alarm settings in your app and check what alarm it is. So the description of alarm. Mainly like 90% of useful information is in this description.
nii tundub, et side kadus. Proovime kohe tagasi saada. nii, Aleksander kohe teeb tagasilülituse ja loodame, et jõuab tagasi eetrisse. Kui teil on küsimusi, siis pange need chati kirja ja saame hiljem vastata ja võite ka sinna kirjutada, mis teemadel me võiks veel rääkida säärast webinari töötuba teha. Et kas mingi konkreetse küsimuse koha pealt? You are back now.
Yeah, sorry. I forget where I stopped. Like I explained how to do the troubleshooting of inverter.
Yeah, alarm list.
Alarm. Okay. So if your inverter shows some red LED on screen, so we need to connect to inverter and check what alarm is rising. So, and usually in alarm description, there is explained what you need to do with inverter. So you follow this step, and after you connect. So you follow this step, and if it doesn't help, you need to download the log from inverter and send it to me through Khalif or to support directly. So what will help you to receive the feedback from support? So sometimes like inverter can like show you alarm. So okay, I have no AC grid, but you definitely know that there is AC grid. So what you need to do, you need just to measure this voltage and take a picture. So you can like take the
Вам нужно будет разрешить.
Khalif, can you add me approve connection of my colleague?
Andrei?
Yes, Andrei. Okay, Khalif, we will share the screen.
Yes.
Of my colleague, and he was able to connect the inverter to his phone to laptop and show you screen. Okay, now you see?
Yes.
Khalif.
Yes, we can see. Huawei Solar, yeah?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. So you see his screen, yes? Khalif.
Yeah, we can see, but it's not connecting.
No, it's already connected, or not?
Yeah, no. Oh, no, it's connected. Yeah.
Okay. So by the way, here I can show you these alarms. So we can go to the alarm list, and here is, for example, one alarm is it's grid loss of the grid. So here is alarm ID and cause ID. So alarm severity is major and is written here like possible cause. So like it's inverter is disconnected from the grid and the power cable is not connected, or there is or AC circuit breaker is tripped. So and then below is suggestion like to check the AC voltage and check the check if circuit breaker is connected. Yeah, now you should see.
Yes.
So basically here is written the suggestion. This fault is said that inverter don't have AC grid. So what you need to do? The easiest way is to go to check to take the multimeter and measure the voltage on each phase. So you just disconnect the AC connector. I can show you and put the put the probes inside the connector and show to support that there is a voltage. So there is a fault inside inverter. So there is a voltage or AC side, but inverter doesn't see this voltage. So in this case, together with log, support will check the log, see that inverter shows 0 voltage, but you show that this voltage is not actually 0. So in this case, it will be enough to approve the warranty replacement. So basically, with all alarms, it's working like this. For example, again, alarms that you have low insulation, like low cable resistance. So you need to check the cable resistance, take a video or take a photos, explain to support that there is normal resistance, but inverter shows this alarm. And together with log, this measurement will give them clear understanding that inverter is faulty. So, and it works with any other alarm. So whatever happened with inverter, read the alarm description and send the together with log to support, and it will be enough to ask the warranty replacement in case of unit is faulty. In case it's not faulty, also usually alarm description contain what you need to do to make it work. So basically this is it. Let's talk about, you asked to show how to set this export limit.
Yeah, but please show where to download this log.
Okay.
Very
so
important.
Here is, you need to go to the maintenance chapter, and here is logs. Sorry, it's when the smartphone have Cyrillic system, so it changed the language of the app. I'm quite sure. 1 second. I will change it to English. Okay, so logs is in maintenance chapter here, and here is log management, the third one. If you see here, log management, you click it here, and you choose what log to download. You can download together with app log, but usually it doesn't need, but you can download everything. So you press download, and your smartphone will download the log from the inverter, from app, and make an archive from these logs, and then you can send it to support. Okay, we need to wait. So this is basically how the troubleshooting works. Sometimes you have, now, for example, problems with wiring, like inverter shows some reverse current. You disconnect the strings, and you need to measure, in this case, the voltage on the strings, like between plus and minus. And also, it's better to measure the voltage between positive and negative pole and to the ground. So in this case, you will measure the resistance of the cable insulation. So in normal string, when you measure between plus and ground, it should reduce the voltage within, I don't know, maybe 10 seconds, almost to zero, like maybe some only maybe 4, 5, maybe 10 volts will remain. And the same, it works from the positive. So you measure the voltage between positive and the grounding, and it also should, at the beginning, it can show some 200 volts, for example, but then fastly reduce to zero. In this case, it means that the cable insulation is okay, and everything is okay. So you also measure, you may take the pictures of this measurement, and with logs together, you send it to support team. And it will help to them to understand the problem and make the troubleshooting much faster. Okay, the next tips, what I can suggest you, I don't know, if MPPT is faulty, so you connect a string to one MPPT and inverter shows some reverse current. Then you measure the resistance voltage, you are sure that things are okay. So just change the MPPT. So change from MPPT 1 to 2. If inverter works with the same strings from MPPT 2, it means that MPPT 1 is faulty in this case. So you can always check like this, like to swap the MPPTs, and it will be clear from the inverter behavior what is wrong, who is faulty, inverter or your strings. Basically, that's all. Okay, also not quite common, but sometimes it happens. For example, you connect a new inverter, connect AC, connect DC, but it don't show. Sorry. So connect DC, connect AC, but it don't show any. Like no LED, no indication, completely nothing. So inverter is don't show any sign of life. So what you need to do, again, measure the voltage AC, DC, show to the support that it's okay, the voltage is normal, and then show a video, then you connect everything to inverter, switch on the DC switch, but then nothing happens. So it means that, again, inverter is faulty. So even if you cannot download the log in this case, you can always prove that the voltage is okay, the DC, AC, but inverter is not possible to connect to inverter. If you will provide this video and measurement, it's enough to get the replacement. This is it. Okay, now we download the log, and it's asked you if you want to share. You can share this through some messenger, through email, and so on, or just save locally on your disk. And after you, in any case, after you press save, it's saved locally in inverter app folder. So inside your inverter memory, there is a special place where is this file saved. I can show you later on where it is. Okay, let's come back to our question with active power limitation. So you need to go to the settings, and here is the same like power adjustment. You can choose, as I showed to you, this maximum active power in order to sorry, this is a maximum active power. This is value that displayed in Fusion Solar as maximum AC power available. And if you want to limit inverter, you see now is limited still on 10,000. You need to put it here. This value here, now it's set correctly. 11. And the rated active power also, if you want to do it in percentage, you can do it in percentage. The next thing is how to download log. I already showed to you. What else we want to show to you? Remind me. So how to set this? How to set export limitation? You need to go to the power adjustment. So bottom, this one here, to upper bottom corner. You set the power adjustment, and then you set the active power control on the top, and then you change here. Okay, this menu is a little bit changed, depend on if power meter is connected or not. So if you want just to modify the output power of inverter, you go to active power control or reactive power control if you want to modify reactive. And if you want the this export limitation, you need to go to grid tied point control. So it means how is connected to the grid, the control at the grid connection point. So you put here standard password is. Yes, and here is again, you control the active or reactive power, but depending on power, smart power meter. You choose the active power control. And here is, now we choose grid connection with 0 power, a closed loop controller inverter because we have only one inverter, and limitation mode single phase power, or choose. And you will, if you will press here, this part, you will get the like other settings. Adjustment period, leave it like this, and here will be this like communication disconnection in case you lose the control, and you put this 3 seconds, and if in 3 seconds you will for 3 seconds you will lose the communication with the meter, inverter will disconnect. And by default this function is disabled, but you can enable if you need it. So basically that's all. The same is about reactive power. You choose like standard is no output, but then you can choose a closed closed loop control. Now we don't have connected power meter, but I can connect it back if needed, and that's why we cannot finish these settings. Basically, this is all. What else I can show you is, if you remember how to set grid code Estonian settings from here, from up. Khalif, do you hear me well?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So if you want to change, adjust the grid settings to, we need to go to the settings and choose grid parameters. And here is this one 549 grid code. It is already adjusted because we did it from Fusion Solar. But if you want, we can do it again back. We choose some other default grid code, like here. Inverter will shortly restart. Okay, so it's already changed the parameters, and we need to better to choose back the this grid code, and we can set it back, all settings needed. So according to your requirement, the so grid reconnection upper limit is 50.1. Confirm. Then lower limit is 4900. Confirm. Here is remain 60 seconds. Then we go back to protection parameters. And now we adjust here under frequency, level 1 under frequency, it should be 47.4 with 100 milliseconds. Okay, and then upper frequency should be level 1 over frequency should be 51.6. With again 100 milliseconds. So the statism value I explained to you, it is in power adjustment section. Here is over frequency derating, this one. And it is by default is enabled, and it have 5% of statism. So basically what Estonian grid operator require. And then you go back to protection settings and set the upper and lower voltage. So the lower voltage, the level 1 under voltage should be 189.5. Okay, and the time is 1.5 seconds. Okay, we set it. The under voltage, upper voltage, so it means OV level 1 over voltage here should be 255.3. Okay, with 3000 milliseconds. And level 2 over voltage should be 264.5 with 100 milliseconds. Okay, so the next one is power factor is in power adjustment. And by default, it is 1, so you don't need to. By default, the power factor is 1, so you don't need to change anything. Okay, and this one is confirmed only by certificate and statement, and this one as well. So basically, that's all. How to set it from the app. Questions? Okay, nice. I just remind me. For example, sometimes you need to, when you connect a new inverter, I hope you will not face it, because with new deliveries we get in inverters with more modern software, and you don't need to upgrade, but sometimes you can get a dongle that have old firmware version. So, and it's not able to connect to your router, for example. So what to do in this case? You need to connect at maintenance device. You can, here is upgrade device on the top here, you see. Here is upgrade device, and you can upgrade here inverter. This is one of the newest firmware, so you don't need to be upgraded. But unfortunately, to upgrade the dongle, you need to connect directly to the dongle. So a dongle also have its own Wi-Fi network, and I can show you how to do it. Let's disconnect from here. Okay, now it's because we connect to this dongle many times, that's why it's available here and we can press connect here. But to be honest, when you first time plug in the smart dongle, so you will not see even a network of this smart dongle because it's hidden. So you need to scan the serial number on on the dongle. So I will show you how to do it. You press connect here. Okay, it sends me that it's not possible to connect to the dongle. I honestly don't know why. Apologize for this misunderstanding.
Okay, this is real life. Even you have
Yeah.
sometimes.
You know, yeah, to upgrade the dongle is quite complicated sometimes. And the problem that I see that the network is available, but I cannot connect to it. Okay, well, another tips I can recommend to you is maybe try the Sun 2000 app. Sometimes it works. Because before, like 10 minutes ago, I eventually connected with this smartphone to the dongle, and it was able to connect, but now no. So don't know why it happens. Okay, nevertheless, so you need to connect to the dongle and there is only one button, upgrade device. So, and you press upgrade and you show the path to the upgrade package. So I can share through Khaled or you can contact me directly and I will share you latest version of smart dongle. But usually it is required only from with old version of, very old version of dongle like 106 or 108. So the new dongle that arrives, so usually it has more updated version, so we don't need to do it. Or you can connect it easily to Fusion Solar and then upgrade from Fusion Solar, because it's also possible to do the upgrade from Fusion Solar. So I think it's quite understandable. So let me know if it's not.
Yeah. Time left. Yes. Okay. Now we have 1 o'clock. Unfortunately, we have to finish today. I want to thank you, Alexander, for this presentation. That was very helpful.
Yeah, I hope the technical problems not create more misunderstanding to you and your customers.
Yeah. Thank you very much. And if we will have some questions, we can send it to you.
Yes. If you have some question, you can send to me and we can organize another meeting and like some specific point or maybe if you will have, maybe soon we will have a real installation. We already have installation with Luna battery, but it is in Warsaw in the lab and I was not able to organize this meeting today. But soon we will have it here in Ukraine because of this COVID situation. We cannot travel to Europe and we cannot show you with Luna. But I think soon in a few weeks it will be available also the Luna battery and we can show you how to set up Luna, how to connect it to Fusion, how to set this charge discharge rate and so on.
Yeah. Okay. We will make it in the future. Thank you very much.
Yeah, welcome, Kalle.
Okay. Nii, tänud. Jah, aeg on kiiresti lennanud, et kell on täna 1 ja selleks korraks peame lõpetama. Tänud kõiki, kes osa võtsid. Ja kui teil on veel küsimusi, võite kirjutada siia chati. Kui teil on häid mõtteid, millest veel võiks säärast töötuba teha, siis palun andke teada ja kindlasti organiseerime. Tänud kõigile ja kohtumiseni.